So many people are asking what to do about this plague of corona that is spreading in the world, God forbid. How to stop this spread. The whole world is like in panic, and there's like many institutes that are researching for vaccines, and you name it, they got it. All the different possibilities. And there is an answer that is brought down in the Sefer Zohar, the book of the Zohar, by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, about 2,000 years ago. And let's see what it says there. So in Zohar Vayakel, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says that the pitum aktoret is a medicine, spiritual medicine for plagues, all plagues, specifically. Why? What's the reason for that? So to understand more what's the reason for that, so we have to go back before Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai.
What's pitum aktoret?
Pitum aktoret is a prayer that we say in the morning prayer, and also in the afternoon prayer. And as much as we'll speak more about the details of it, but it's a certain prayer. We have it, and we say that. Now, there is an ancient midrash, ancient source in the Jewish scripts that explains that when Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Mount Sinai to receive the Torah, all the angels gave him presents. And also the angel of death gave him a present. What was the present that the angel of death gave Moshe Rabbeinu? That was the secret of the Ktoret. That he told him that this special prayer, the act of the Ktoret, in the time of Moshe Rabbeinu, it was not only a prayer, it was a whole ceremony of burning essence, that have the possibility to remove death. Okay? Right afterwards, when Moshe Rabbeinu came down from Mount Sinai, so unfortunately there was a big sin of the golden calf there, and there was a plague. And Moshe Rabbeinu told Aaron, take the Ktoret and run into the camp of Am Yisrael and stand between the people that are dying from the plague and the people that are still alive. And it says that Aaron did it. He ran into the camp and he was standing between those two camps of the people that are sick and the people that are healthy, and the plague have stopped. It didn't pass on after Aaron. So the Ktoret have this power. So, and we would think that that's only the act of the Ktoret that was done by Aaron, that was done in the Beit HaMikdash, that they were burning those essence, all kinds of different materials that they were burning, and that is what is removing the death. But for that comes Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai in the Sefer Zohar, and he tells us no. Also, the prayer of the Ktoret have also this quality. Okay, why is it so? There's a little bit other sources that we need to look into to understand that really when we're doing the prayers, they are coming instead of the offerings, and it goes one correspond to the other. So when we're saying the prayer of, for example, the Tamid offering, which is a daily sacrifice that was done in Beit HaMikdash, so it's like we sacrifice the Tamid offering in Beit HaMikdash. So the same thing when we are saying over the words of the prayer of the Ktoret, it gives us the quality as if we really did the burning of the essence of those, the way it was done by Aaron HaKohen. Okay? So this is the first simple understanding of that. Now the Zohar goes deeper and explains that it's not only death that is prevented by the pitum aktoret, it's basically anything that is negative. All of the negative things in the world, they are getting their sustenance from a certain source, which is the part within the spiritual system that Hashem created, God created, that is the negative part of that system. Okay, so from that negative spiritual source, this is the source of all of the different applications of different things, as hunger and plagues and people that are poor, people that are in pain, people that are all anything that we have in our mind that is negative, wars, whatever, all of those different things is coming from that one source. Okay, now what is the source of the power of that negative side of the creation? So it says in the Kabbalah, Zohar, and the writings of the Arizal that explains the Zohar, that all of that is coming from sparks of holiness that are captured within that negative side of the creation. So from those sparks of holiness, the negative side gets its nourishment, and then it's able to manifest within the physical world in all those different ways. Okay, so now after we understand that, so we can understand why when we saying the Torah, it helps to prevent all of those different things, because we are pulling out those sparks from the negative side. So when the negative side doesn't have those sparks, the power of the negative side goes down, and then all of the manifestations, plagues and whatever it is removed because of that, because the negative side doesn't have so much power. As much as we will have more people around the world that are saying over the Pitum Aktoret, we are pulling more sparks from the negative side, connecting them to the system of the Kedusha, and then the negative side loses its power, and all of the different manifestations of that, if it's the corona plague, if it is people that are poor, if it is people that are suffering emotionally, physically, spiritually, all different kinds of different things, people that have fears and whatever, all of those different things, it's all coming from that one source. As much as we will apply that, we will see less suffering in the world, less death in the world, less evilness in the world, all of those different things. Now, obviously, like everything, there is many levels that this principle can be applied. So people that they are not involved in Kabbalah and they can just say over the words, it's also something, it's also significant. That's the basic level. And that's, you can find the prayer in, there is the basic prayer that is found in every Siddur. You can find it online, many places, many sources. Some of them is just the Hebrew, so you have to know how to read in Hebrew. There is some places that have the transliteration, so even someone that cannot read the Hebrew letters will be able to say over the words. We also made a free version of Pitum Aktoret for people like that they need the transliteration, the simple prayer, the basic prayer. Now on top of that, there is like higher levels. So there is all kinds of addition prayers before and after Pitum Aktoret that can be applied with Pitum Aktoret to strengthen it, to boost it up. So if someone is more capable and he wants to put more time and he wants to be more effective in his prayer, so then the advice is to take the full version, to have all of those additional prayers that will make it much more effective, much more meaningful for the person himself and for the whole world. And then on top of that, there is also another level, which is the Kabbalistic meditations that are combined within that prayer. Okay? And that's something that it is done by big righteous people, big Mekubalim that are involved with those things. But Baruch Hashem, today, with the help of a few of my students, I was able to bring to the world explanation of those meditations that will be clear for someone that he knows some basics of Kabbalah. It's not so someone that he doesn't know anything about Kabbalah. I don't have all of the background information. That's another book of the introductions. of the Kabbalah. There it's like for someone that he knows those promises, he knows those concepts, so how to apply them in the prayer of Pitum Aktoret, and then it really makes it much more effective. It's really boosting it up, and that's something that is very, very meaningful. And I will finish with one last story that I had someone that came here that he was a Segula master. He had in his pockets full of all kinds of remedies, spiritual remedies, and all kinds of names of angels and this and that. His pockets were full of all kinds of different things, and he was all the time was searching for new things. And he went to the Rosh Yeshiva, the head Kabbalist of Betel Yeshiva, which is the ancient yeshiva of the Kabbalah in the old city here in Yerushalayim. And he was asking the Rosh Yeshiva there, like, what can I do more except of all what I'm doing, all of those different remedies, all of those different skulot that I'm dealing with. So Rav Avichai told him, go to Rav Shepherd, that he will teach you how to say Pitum Aktoret, and that will cover all of that. You don't need more than that. You can put everything aside, just say every day Pitum Aktoret, but the long one, the Tikkun Aktoret, not just the Pitum Aktoret, the whole full prayer with all of the meditations that are there, that will cover you. You don't need more than that. And that's, as far as I know, what it is, that what this person did. And I think that it's something that is very, very significant. It's very, very deep. It has the best sources. There's a promise by Hashem. Hashem himself gave a promise. Whoever will say Pitum Aktoret will be saved from all of those different dangers. It's brought down in the Zohar. Rabbi Shimon Yochai speaks about it. It's brought down in the writings of the Arizal and Sha'ar Kavanot. It's right there in the beginning. Speaks about it in length. All of those different things, all of those prayers, it have the best sources that no one can argue with. And as much as we'll have more people in the world that are applying that daily, I'm sure that it will have a magnificent effect, that the whole world will be elevated. We'll see less diseases, less negative things, and Bezrat Hashem will hear just good things, good news, Bezrat Hashem. And with the help of Hashem, waiting for the good news from the whole world.